Hello and welcome to TNW Conference 2024. Welcome to Amsterdam. We are here today to have a series of streamed interviews with some of the most interesting speakers of this conference. My name is Andrei Degler. I'm the head of media at TNW, and here with me is Gary Shapiro, the president of Consumer Technology Association. Hi, Gary. Welcome to TNW.
I am so thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
Now, can you please tell a little bit about yourself for those who don't necessarily know you? Who are you? What do you do? And what's going to be your mission here at the conference?
I'm Gary Shapiro. I head the Consumer Technology Association, which is a United States organization, nonprofit, NGO, representing 1,300 technology companies, American companies, and owning and producing the CES, which is a huge innovation event held annually in Las Vegas each January.
Wow, that's quite amazing. And so you often talk about the importance of innovation for the US economy. I've gone through a few of your talks, a few of your interviews, and this is also something that you're probably going to mention today. But what do you think are the similarities and differences with with the relationship between innovation and the economy in the US and in Europe?
Well, it's interesting. The U.S. benefits from a highly diversified population, mostly coming from the immigrant culture. We have a constitution which protects our ability to create new ideas without the government coming down on us. And there's a tax structure which is favorable to innovation. You pay a lot less on capital gains tax than you would on income tax. That and a whole bunch of other factors contribute to a very diverse economy, also a university system which encourages it, and a culture of almost unique in the world, except perhaps with Israel, is that if you fail, it's actually considered an educational experience. It's a success. It's something we look for when we hire someone. You know, have they tried an enterprise, and if they failed, they've gotten experience. Europe is also actually very innovative in many different ways. They have a lot of the ingredients. The ingredients are, in some ways, it's highly diversified. There are a lot of immigrants. The educational system is excellent. However, there's a big but here. The tax system is less favorable towards innovation, and also the culture is less favorable in terms of you're not rewarded. It's considered failure when you fail. But the worst thing, I think, is that the bureaucracy and the government are somewhat discouraging of innovation. The Europeans' initial reaction for something new is to how do we regulate it? How do we tax it? When the United States, we're more of a let's see what happens, let's let this grow. It may affect existing competitors, but that's life. And now, sadly for us in the United States, the Europeans are trying to export their highly regulatory environment. And if you look at the results, honestly, I mean, on a per capita basis, in terms of the number of people, even the landmass, Europe and the US are very close. But the number of companies which achieve €1 billion in value, the unicorns, is extremely low in Europe compared to the United States. And you have to ask why. It's not that the people aren't smarter or more creative. I think it's the fact that the government system is one which discourages rather than encourages innovation.
And how would you approach, if you were given a free rein to change the way that technology is regulated in Europe, how would you change it? What would you change? Would you abolish everything altogether, or is there some more nuance to that?
I think I would make it like Emmanuel Macron did in France. I think he said it's very important that we innovate. There's certain incentives and encouragements we could do to innovation. We could give benefits for investing in startups. We could recognize that startups have value. We should encourage the fact that large companies will buy small companies, which Europe is doing the opposite of right now, and exporting that to the US. And that's how you get investors. They know they'll get an exit strategy. You know, bureaucrat is a French word. You know, but so is entrepreneur. So the bottom line of this is if you encourage it as a cultural thing and political leaders, rather than regulate, give it visibility as something positive rather than something negative, innovation does displace people. It's something which is just the reality of modern kind. We don't have horse and buggies getting us around anymore, and we don't use elevator operators, and there's fewer travel agents and bank tellers. But we've all benefited from that, and there's all sorts of new jobs which have been created.
Right. Are you hinting to the AI revolution right now? What's your take on it in general? What do you think will happen with this newest innovation that we are seeing proliferating across the world?
Well, certainly artificial intelligence has been around for at least 30 years. It flies our airplanes. It does a lot of other things for us that we just expect, whether it's factory automation, other things. Generative AI is an AI that actually learns something. It's not the same silly smart, so-called smart speaker in my home that gets the same questions wrong all the time. This is one where they learn which way you drive, they learn what you're like, they learn preferences. But more significantly than that is what it could do for mankind, what it could do for healthcare. Once you get all the electronic medical records and you can analyze them and you see which treatments work for which maladies, which gender, which race, which DNA, blood type, everything about you can be correlated with a different way of treating you for the same illness than the person next to you. And I think that's going to revolutionize healthcare. It'll also create new treatments in healthcare. Obviously, in transportation, we should have safer cars. We should have fewer people having vehicle accidents and dying or going to hospitals. It should reduce the needs of our medical system. And education will be more education based on the person. In terms of how we run our factories, it'll be more efficient. So a lot of great things that are going to come out of generative AI.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So you are also a best-selling author, among other things that you're doing. And one of your newest book is about to come out. It's going to be called Pivot or Die, if I'm not mistaken. It's going out in October. What is it going to be about? Can you talk about it?
Well, to pivot is to make a change, whether it's in your business or your personal life. And we all do it. And I counsel younger people for their personal lives, for example. They agonize over what school they go to, what major, what their first job is. And really, it's not that important because a lot of things we do in 5-year spans. And if you make that commitment, unless you're committing a felony or doing something that's physically dangerous, like jumping out of a plane without a skill, or getting married or having kids, these are decisions. Those are big decisions. Other decisions are changeable. You have to learn more about yourself to see what you're good at and what you enjoy, what you get energy from in a job. And you will learn that about yourself as you get older, even in not only the teens, but the 20s and 30s even. And I think actually for business, it's the same thing. You have to make fundamental changes as a business or you will die. And most people and most businesses love the status quo and they try to keep it. And you think everything's going to stay the same, but that's not what life is. That's not what business is. Every business is out there changing. They're looking at the future. They're pivoting. And if you don't pivot, you'll get left behind.
Right. Gary, thank you so much. Thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts and good luck with everything you're doing at Consumer Technology Association.
Thank you very much. Honored to be here.
Thank you.